This is an NYY Sports Talk podcast, presented to you by Baseballism, a premium lifestyle apparel brand inspired by America's pastime. Baseballism is America's brand.
Now batting for the New York Yankees, the shortstop, number two.
Welcome back. This is episode 109 of the NYYST podcast, presented to you by Baseballism.com. I'm your host, Christian. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And Stat Guy Rye.
What up?
That
was a good one.
That's way too chipper.
Enthusiastic.
It's way
yeah.
too chipper for what we've been dealing with here.
Yeah, I know. What up?
It's Wednesday night. Give you a little time reference here. I guess about 2 hours ago, the Yankees took a shit in the Bronx again, as they've done for the first week of the season. They lost to the Tigers 2-1. Now they are currently 2-4. At the beginning of the season, I would have said that the minimum I would have accepted out of these first two series
2 losses.
was 4-2, and here they are with 2 wins. And what is so frustrating is that they're not losing games. They're losing games, but in addition to that, every time they lose a game, they lose another player.
I thought of 2 things today. One, if there's anything worse than a Yankee loss, it's a Yankee loss with an anemic offense. It's almost unbearable to watch. It really is. It's unbearable. It's frustrating. I'd rather them lose a 10-8 game. But the pitching's been really good, and that's really the shittiest part of all of this. The second thing, and I'm very proud of myself. I know I had my moments last episode.
You're potty trained now?
Somewhat. Not all the time.
Well, you know what? To encourage Chris to be potty trained on a full-time basis, go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review for this podcast. And
yes.
If we get 5-star reviews by the time we record episode 110 on Sunday, Chris will be fully potty trained.
I'll wear a diaper during the show.
No.
Okay. So the second thing, and I'm very proud of myself, is year after year, after like the first month, if the team isn't, I'm like, this fucking season sucks, they're done. But after last year, I remind myself now, this season is so long, guys. It's so long. There's so many ups and downs. Does it suck that they've started this way? Yes, but here's what I can tell you. The one team that we're going to have to worry about, I promise you, when all's said and done, is the Boston Red Sox.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, okay. They've lost more games than we have right now.
Wow. That's something to hang your hat on.
So you can look at it 2 ways. You can say, okay, these 6 games really don't mean as much as they could have. Or you can look at it as this was a good opportunity for the Yankees to take advantage.
Do you feel better that the Yankees are losing because they're hurt and Boston is losing healthy? Do you feel better about that?
No, because I don't think they're losing necessarily because they're hurt.
Oh, they are.
I think they're discouraged. I think they're a little deflated right now.
Chris, they scored 5 runs in the last 3 games.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. These injuries shouldn't be the reason why they're not scoring. I mean,
it shouldn't be, but it's lending itself to it.
You always have to sit here and say no excuse, but it kind of is. I mean, look at the disabled list right now. I'm calling it that. I don't care. But another thing, you know what I realized today? I absolutely hate the first week of a Yankee season outside of opening day. All the day games.
Jacob deGrom has
the shitty
hit
schedules.
more home runs than Aaron Judge has, so that's awesome.
He hit a home run. Wow.
Great.
Yeah, but Judge has been really good. He's got to be leading the team in RBIs now.
3. Yeah. Nope.
No,
Voit has
Voigt's got
5.
five.
Voit.
Let's
Voit,
talk about Luke Voigt.
Voit is what? 1 hit? 3?
What a piece.
What a piece of garbage, yeah.
Really. Now I'm back to saying that he's
Do you
a
like
bust.
the guy or don't you?
I'd like it if he would stop striking out so damn much. Okay. Luke Voigt last year caught lightning in a bottle because he had an approach at the plate where he wanted to go center field oppo. It looks like he's up there swinging from his heels trying to pull everything.
Yeah, but do you also attribute, just like you attribute the anemic offense to the injuries, do you maybe attribute all these guys kind of pressing because of the injuries also?
Yes, look at Gleyber Torres today.
Yeah, I mean, these guys feel like they need to overcompensate for the weak lineup that they're putting out there. So it's a domino effect. It doesn't just affect the team from the actual. It affects the players who are still healthy.
The players.
And any word on Tulo or no?
Last I heard, Boone said it looks like an IL situation.
Jesus God, man, this is crazy. What are we up to right now?
Brian, pull it up.
That would be the 11th, I think.
That would be 11 or 10. Because I thought it was 10, but then I heard Susan and John. We can call him John because we had him on the show. They were saying they were at 10 already. This is crazy, man.
All right, go up real quick. All right, so CC was placed on the IL today. We all knew that was coming. He served his 5-game suspension. Now he's on the IL. CBS Sports is calling it a knee injury. I thought it had more to do with his ticker and that they wanted to give him a little extra time. And maybe the knee is banged up. I don't know.
What ticker?
His heart.
Oh, CC you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It says here expected out at least until April 13th. Okay, that's 10 days, so that doesn't seem like that big of a deal. It says here Tulowitzki is expected out until at least April 4th, which I think we all know is garbage. He's definitely...
They're going to try and keep him day to day.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't afford to keep... With the way this team is banged up, you can't afford to keep a guy day to day. You got to DL
What the hell are
him.
you going to call up at this point,
It
though?
doesn't. You need a fresh... You know what? Tyro Estrada is the only other infielder on the 40-man roster. Even to get a fresh body up here. What are you going to do?
And then what happens if he gets hurt? I got to say...
You're going to start calling guys off the street.
As much as I don't like Tyler Wade on the Major League team, it's nice having him, A, off the bench for speed, or B, defensively, man. He's really good.
Yeah,
He's
well,
a good defender.
now he's going to be your starting, second baseman,
Yeah.
shortstop. I don't really...
Second base, and then they'll move Torres probably to short.
And I don't think we've recorded since Miguel Andujar. have
No, we haven't, because they both went on the IL Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get to... Stanton hurt himself on Sunday on a swing, biceps injury. Here it says out at least until April 22nd, which is great because today's the 3rd, so that's a 3-week injury. That's awesome. Here they say Sevy will be out until at least May 10th. That's awesome. Another month without your ace. And
May 10th, Jesus.
Well,
but the pitching, listen, let me say something real quick. I was going to put out this nice, awesome tweet until the Yankees lost that game last night. This, through the first 5 games, not including today, I don't know after today, but it's got to be up there. If the Yankees held the Tigers to just that 1 run last night when it was late in the game, it would have been the first time since 2002 that the Yankees went their first 5 games with the pitching only giving up 11 earned runs. No other year was close.
and what's going to happen when the offense gets hot? What's going to happen when the offense gets hot?
The pitching's going to go to shit.
Yep.
Always happens.
But you have to be optimistic, too, about the pitching because pitchers in the colder weather, I know today was a little bit warmer, but in the colder weather, the pitchers are a lot tighter than in the middle of the summer, too. So
I was at the game Tuesday night. It was brutal.
it was freezing,
It was
right?
brutal.
I ended up not going.
It was brutally cold. And the thing that makes it worse is there's no excitement. You can't even get your blood going. You're just like, strike
it's just
out,
it's almost unbearable with all these strikeouts. They set a franchise record today.
18.
Jesus Christ!
And that guy Boyd that pitched for the Tigers, come on, seriously. If you want to tell me like Justin Verlander struck you out 18 times, you're like, okay, I understand it, but come on.
Did anyone catch Michael Kay when they showed the picture of Boyd and his wife? And I'm not making fun. I think it's a great thing that they adopted like 20 children.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they adopted like 40 Ethiopian kids or something, and like
which is great. But like in my head, the only thing I can think is like, now what? Like they don't all live with them.
No, they set up like a house or something for them,
and they pay for them to like live.
I guess so.
Boyd can't be making that much money now. What the hell's the guy making?
I don't know, but I'm sure.
Christ, I have 2 kids and I'm broke.
I don't know. I didn't see that though.
So Miggy.
Yeah. What do you do?
I mean, I'll tell you right now what my gut feeling is. He's not playing for the rest of the season. A lot of speculation saying he absolutely won't play third base for the rest of the year, but they could try and DH him for the year. But how many at-bats is he really going to get at that point? You know?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, he would.
So what? You're going to play then?
Yeah.
Stanton's going to be the everyday outfielder.
I guess so.
Like we said, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Team is a mess right now.
They're a mess. It's a fucking train wreck.
If they if they were the Red Sox, and let's say they were in the Red Sox position, and they started 1-5, but they were healthy, you'd be like, all right, they're just in a funk right now.
Healthy or healthy?
They'll snap out of it, but they're hurt. They're every day it seems like somebody else goes down with an injury, and that's what you get discouraged about.
The discouraging thing is that not only is it every single day, but there's no like hope for the guys that are already hurt.
Yeah, Stan's going to be out a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's still a lot of time.
Be back before but you're not talking about like Andujar, who might have a season-ending injury.
I'm saying we don't have one guy that's like, okay, he'll be back, by next week.
Betances.
When's he coming back?
April 10th, it says. That's next week.
Oh, when's Ellsbury? April 15th.
Yeah.
At
TBA.
what date? Let's do an over-under on his next injury. I'll say April 10th. I'm going to go with right on the dot, April 10th.
Yeah, I'll go with the 8th.
What do you think it'll be? The fasciitis?
It'll be something, though. It'll be something.
I promise you.
Roster.
I promise you. It's just crazy, man. I mean, it started as like a joke. It was maybe opening day or the day before opening day, and we sat here a couple days before, and you said, how many teams could you go into the season with just an ace in their whatever and their setup man and still be confident? Since that time, just a week ago.
All right, so I got the
we now have 8 other guys on the disabled list, pretty much.
I got the sked up. The sked, that's what the kids call it.
When are we in a dome or something?
Soon. They're going to Baltimore tomorrow.
Okay.
And then they're in Houston. All right. So then after Houston, they come home for White Sox, Red Sox, Royals.
Back home?
Yeah. And then this is what I heard on the radio today, this is when they're expecting Hicks back sometime when they're out west to play Anaheim, San Francisco, and Arizona, which is towards the end of the month.
Okay.
That's not...
Look, maybe this like injury bug, it's getting out of the way early. Maybe these guys will stay healthy as the weather gets warmer now. I don't know. But
this is last August all over again.
Bro, we're so young. We're so young.
And it's not even the guys you would have expected to
this
be
isn't
injured.
Like the 2010 Yankees.
Yeah, but these are all, I mean, really, they're Fluke Didi needs Tommy John from sliding into home plate.
They're going to rush him back.
Andujar needs Torres Labrum diving back to third base. Stanton hurts himself on his... I guess that happened.
And you know what? Miggy's own fault. He shouldn't have been that far off the bag.
Yeah, right.
Shouldn't have been.
It's his fault.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what they said, he got injured diving back to third base.
Yeah.
The thing with Betances, I mean, if he didn't have a kid, he'd probably be here right now. let's blame Dellin Betances' kid.
I
Baby
think the whole
Betances.
Betances injury was just to buy him more time. I
Well,
really do.
They said that the inflammation occurred when because he was trying to ramp
overstress
it up, try to ramp it up and play catch up. So let's blame his baby.
Why don't you plan to conceive at a time when you won't have to worry about this?
Yeah, exactly.
Plan your sex schedule a little better, man.
Yeah, really, Dellin
Shit.
and Dellin's wife. Like, geez.
Come on.
The guy that you really want to be worried about is, I guess, with Hicks. Is this shit always creeps up with him?
Man, I'll tell you right now, Hicks has to come back and he has to prove that he can stay healthy for the rest of the year. This lineup, I never thought I'd say this, but this lineup is really missing Aaron Hicks right now. It really, really is.
This lineup is missing a lot of things right now.
What are you going to do? I mean, you got to just keep going out there. We looked at this opening schedule and we were so hopeful.
14-7, we had them going through the first 21.
Yeah, well, they'll be lucky to win 10 games now.
It's still
they can't score. They're not scoring runs.
Maybe this will change though. I mean, we've seen these things change overnight.
Somebody needs to.
Someone tweeted to me. I put out a tweet today. Someone responded, "No heart." It's fucking 6 games, and this whole team is injured right now.
Look, if anything, the way you know what, I'm tired of having to defend the Yankees all the time, and then I get called a sheep on Twitter.
And all the Boone hatred, it's just crazy.
I'm the too optimistic Yankee fan. Well, you know what? Go fucking.
Wow, I like that. I got it. I like it.
Anyway,
use your imagination.
Yeah, use your imagination.
Listen,
but here's the thing. If anything, to me, this team is trying too hard right now.
That's what I just said. I mean, these injuries it's a ripple effect. It's affecting the guys that are healthy now because they feel like they need to step up.
They are grinding the bat. They're to sawdust.
That's why more credit to Stanton last year when he stepped up with Judge being out. It wasn't easy, and he was injured himself, and he stepped up last summer. But it's just I saw a tweet, and I was so angry for you for once about
It must have been really bad.
About Boone, and someone was ripping him, or people were ripping him for going to Chapman last night.
You are legitimately. I'm sorry to say this, and I might alienate some of our viewers, but Chris.
And listen, hey,
Chris
whatever
said,
he's about to say, we still love you. We love the passion, but listen to the guy.
Chris said, "Feel your feelings," and you know what? I'm wearing my John Rambo mugshot shirt today because I feel like going on a one-man killing spree on. A figurative one-man killing spree, okay?
Better.
Jesus.
Okay. But, you have to be so incredibly stupid to not understand how baseball is played nowadays. You go to your closer in the 9th inning of a tie game at home.
Nowadays. It's ever since the closer became a thing.
There's a tie game at home. You go to the closer.
Every time. And if he didn't go to Chapman,
he would have
been someone else.
He would have been killed. And
the guy can't win.
I don't want to. You know what? The President of the United States is a very touchy subject, but we'll just say this. For people that don't like the President of the United States, there's a term for them, and they're called anti-Trumpers.
Anti-Trumpers.
Okay? Now, I'm not saying everybody is an anti-Trumper that doesn't like the president. You have your own reasons for it, and that's fine. And we're not here to get into a political debate or anything.
Right.
But it's usually a term thrown out at people that are just so irrational towards everything that he does.
Right.
Okay.
The guy can't win.
All right. So now I've decided that you people that are going to rip Aaron Boone, no matter what he does, and he can never win in your eyes, are anti-Booners.
Anti-Booners. You have erectile dysfunction.
Because He goes to Chapman in the ninth inning, tie game at home, 100% the right move.
It's not even up for debate.
It's not even up for debate.
That is how you manage baseball.
You can't get a save in a tie game at home because there's nothing to save at that point. You either win the game or you lose the game.
If he's on the road, and look, even on the road, if you're in a tight spot and you need to bring your closer in at that point to hold them, fine. But on the road, that's a different story because your team could come take the lead, and then there's a save situation. But at home, it's not a debate. We shouldn't even be talking. We should have to be talking about it because it's not a debatable thing. That is how you manage the game of baseball.
But because Aroldis Chapman didn't get the job done, it's Boone's fault.
Right.
Shouldn't have went to him. Why are you going to your closer there? It's a tie game. I had somebody tell me today, you only bring in your closer for saves.
There was never going to be a save. They would either win the game or lose it.
If he loses that game yesterday or Tuesday night, because you'll be listening to this Thursday, if he loses the game with Stephen Tarpley or Tommy Kahnle or Jonathan Holder on the mound, you're going to fucking roast him like it's Christmas Eve and he's a chestnut.
I already hate Tarpley. I already hate him. And it's not because of him. It's because of how I already see him being used. He's being used as the guy, well, at least right now, because we don't have Betances, he's being used as the guy when we're down late in games. Like down by only a run or two late in a game.
But you remember I pointed it out to you last episode. Yes. Boone went to Britain down 1 in the ninth inning today.
Yes. And it was the right move. It was out of all these like late game losses, they've all been like it's been tied or they've had the lead up until the 7th or 8th inning. At least
2 games in a row they had 1 run allowed through 7 innings.
But at least the Yankees went into the 9th inning only down a run today. I feel like a couple other games they were down a run and then in the 8th or 9th a reliever gave up a couple more and just completely took them out of it.
So what you were trying to flip out about last episode, the next piece of evidence shows the contrary.
And you know what? I'm very happy about that.
And you know what? Again, people are roast. Oh, why'd you go to Chad Green for 2 innings? What do you want the guy to do?
He gave up a fucking home run, but he looked really good today.
What do you want him to do?
Right.
Adam Ottavino pitched 4 out of the first 5 games of the year. Do you know what he's on pace to pitch this season? 130 games.
I literally started to see his face change a little bit into Scott Proctor already. Like he's what do you want? You want him to be used every single game?
He couldn't pitch today.
Scott Proctor still.
How many years John Ottavino? 3 years? They get him?
3 years.
327.
My buddy Matt texted me the other day. By the way, he was an inch away from Joe Torre. He got in a plane with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi.
I probably didn't.
All right. So probably wanted to stay away from Chapman today after the long inning yesterday.
Yeah, because we know how he does after long innings.
All right. So what are you left with? You're left with what you had. And you know what? Loizaga only gives you 4 innings. You got to make up these innings somewhere. They have to come from somewhere.
Loizaga had a very weird game today because he is notorious, like right at that 4th inning, he starts to kind of fall apart, but he kept it together. He did have a few walks in the 4th. He only gave up, 1 hit today, I think.
One hit.
And he had a few strikeouts. He had 4 strikeouts.
He had a nice strikeout on Miguel Cabrera in the 1st inning. 1-2.
But you know what? That's what you're going to get out of him. You're only going to get 4 tops 5 innings.
He was squeezed a little bit too today. I didn't really like the way the umpire called the zone on him.
Shame on me for ripping Boone the other day because the fact that the starting rotation is so injured also is going to affect the bullpen in itself and how you use these guys. And our bullpen's hurt too. So,
yeah, I mean, we were talking about it when the Betances injury came down. We said if there's one place on this team where you can sustain an injury, it's to the bullpen. But you're seeing what not having Dylan Betances is doing to the Yankees because, to be honest with you, did you have faith that they were scoring another run tonight?
No.
Okay, but at least you can probably get the game into the 10th inning.
No, you know when I knew they weren't going to score another run? When Bird laced that ball and who was it? That was the dude that used to be on the Pirates. Outfielder.
Harrison?
Harrison.
He was probably playing in the outfield because of the shift. He's a second baseman.
Yeah.
But that's another thing.
No. I meant in the Pirates, he played the outfield sometimes.
He's a utility guy.
Yeah.
He moved around a lot.
But he made a phenomenal play like a Gold Glove second baseman. I mean,
how many times in your life have you seen a runner get hit with a batted ball?
Yeah, it happened again today.
did it happen again?
Aaron Judge got hit. That's when
I missed that.
When you texted another Yankee went down with an injury. I was pretty much right at that because I was out today and I didn't get home till 5 o'clock. So I said, let me just record the game and I'll catch up instead of just listening to it in the radio on the radios. So when I was there, that's why I was like, I hope you fucking die. Because it was like right at the point where I was at in the game where Judge had got hit by the batted ball, and that was Torres, and Torres hit. That was a rocket he hit too.
We can sit here all day and just.
But that was twice in 6 games that a player got hit with a batted ball. And when's the last time you've seen that?
Listen, we were all watching right together. That was opening day.
Yeah, opening day. It happened.
We were like, I don't think I've ever actually seen that in a Yankee game live. And now it happened twice within the first 6 games. But we can sit here and rip the offense all night. We could literally do a 3-hour show. Let's talk about the pitching for a second. Outside of J Happ, who is notoriously slow in his first start, this pitching's been really good so far. I love what we've seen out of Ottavino. I love what we saw out of James Paxton. I'm excited to see him pitch tomorrow. Can someone explain to me why Paxton didn't pitch today?
He's actually on short rest today. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the day off after opening day.
I know. I was like you because your
Right.
your brain just goes to Paxton after Tanaka.
Right.
I did the same thing.
I forgot about the day off.
But he would actually be on short rest today.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, wouldn't you rather him face the Tigers instead of go up against a team that just saw him his last outing? But I guess that makes sense.
The Tigers, who they're not really that bad. They have some players like
their offense shouldn't
they have a couple guys.
Their offense shouldn't be as bad as it has been.
Harrison, Cabrera, Castellanos.
Like if you look at the Tigers lineup and they scored what 1, 3, and 2. They scored 6 runs this series. But if you had lost,
we held the team to 6 runs and we lost 2 out of 3 games.
I said that earlier
my God!
You said that earlier in the show, but if you had lost 2 or 3 to them and you looked at their lineup, you're like, I could see it. I don't like it, but I could see it. You look at the Orioles lineup. There's no explanation.
Bro, all you have to do is look at the Tigers lineup. How many guys do you say you'd recognize on the Tigers lineup? Almost all of them, right? They're like at least 7 out of 9. You know who they are.
Yeah, maybe 6 or 7.
Right?
Yeah.
Orioles, 1.
Trey Mancini.
Yeah.
2.
Chris Davis.
2. That's it.
Caleb Joseph, is he still there?
Is he?
I don't even know, man.
You got Severino behind the plate for them now,
Mm-hmm.
who I actually think is going to be a really good player. But is that Caleb Joseph, who was their catcher last year? The young kid? I can't think of his name. I think it is. No.
Well, yeah, I mean he was on there. How about
I'm shocked if he's not going to be playing.
Speaking of catchers.
No, it's not him. It's not him.
Can we talk about these throwing errors
yeah,
by
maybe it is.
Gary Sanchez? Like going into the season defensively suspect would be his, pass ball rate or whatever, and his throwing arm was always praised. He was throwing the ball like shit
for
out there,
a
man.
catcher. Look,
Jonathan VR, you know who he is. That's
he got
3.
traded, right?
That's 3.
look,
yeah, that was
for a catcher, you gotta think about what Sanchez is working on in the offseason. Plus, he was injured. He's working on his pass ball rate, blocking balls. He's working on his offense. The one thing that I'm sure he obviously worked on a lot is throwing runners out, but it kind of takes a back burner, and a big part of that isn't his arm, it's his footwork. A lot of that is footwork that will come again in the next couple weeks, but I'm sure throwing out runners took a little bit of a back burner for Gary Sanchez because that's been his one thing that he's been great at.
Sanchez is another guy that no matter what he does, there's just people that are they just don't care.
He just has a target on
just,
his back.
Just how many wild throws to second have there been already this season. Not just him. You throw in Voits
But
in
you
that
know
one
what?
game that cost them games.
It's not just Gary's fault.
No, the one was on Torres, but they still gave it to Sanchez.
Well, yeah, it's got to be an error on the catcher.
It was a catchable ball.
But that's what you do as a catcher. If anything, and I used to tell when I used to play first base, I'm a short guy. I used to say, if anything, if you're going to mess up the throw it in the dirt. I'll pick it. Don't throw it over my head. As a catcher, if he's not getting a good grip on the ball and he's throwing it down, keep it low. And Torres has to make a couple of those plays because that ball was dead on a couple games ago. And he let it go right into the outfield.
I mean, Gary Sanchez could literally go 20 for 20 with 20 home runs, all grand slams.
And then he could strike out 4 times the next game.
And in the middle of that, have one pass ball.
This guy fucking sucks.
And that would be the end of it. Forget it.
We need, what's his name? That
Realmuto. Oh, did you hear this one? I'm telling you, when the Yankees are losing, Twitter is like the
I
worst.
don't even go on anymore. I just post. I don't read.
It's the worst place because the takes that you get from some of these people are ridiculous. Here's one I got yesterday. The Yankees are being punished by the baseball gods because they didn't sign Machado or Harper.
Jesus Christ. Give it up. Give it up.
And then when the Andujar news came out, that's what the Yankees get for not signing Manny Machado.
What?
Like, are you serious? First of all, are you that much of a dick that this kid who came up here last year that the Yankees didn't even want sniffing the major leagues last year,
worked his ass off probably harder than anyone this offseason.
Came up here last season and was the Yankees' best offensive player in 2018, and then in the offseason worked his ass off to get better, and you're just like, that's all you're concerned with is Manny Machado?
Fuck Manny Machado. I'll say it again. Who did I say that about?
Probably Bryce
Patrick
Harper.
Corbin.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Patrick Corbin, fuck Bryce Harper, and fuck Manny Machado. We are the New York Yankees. You need to live and die with this team if you're a true fan. Stop worrying about who the Yankees signed and who they didn't. And you know what? Up until the last couple days when the injuries really started to pile on, you know what I sat back and thought? This is where you can look at Brian Cashman and say he is a fucking genius. Because, again, up until like Stanton tacked on to everything and Andujar, even after, I mean, you had Andujar go down.
How much would Manny Machado really be helping the Yankees? Batting .240 with a home run and 3 runs batted in right now.
Right. So
I mean, I know it's 6 games, but everybody, it's like, oh, we had Manny. Okay,
come on, listen. But when Andujar goes down, right, that's like a devastating thing, especially as fans. We're looking forward to seeing him this year. You replace him with a Gold Glove defensive player, and all these other guys go down. We have depth.
No,
it's just gotten to a point now where there's so many that you can't.
Yeah.
It's just so ridiculous now.
You can lose one they were even with Didi out, they were covered for one injury in the infield. Now we have 2. Tulowitzki's going.
Oh, Bird's coming too. Bird will be next. I'll tell you right now. And you know what? I was a little pissed off at Bird today because he hit that ball in the 9th, and like I said, why can't I think of his name? He's Harrison. Made a great play on him, and he was like trotting down to first, it looked like. But then I was like, you know what? Don't get hurt. Yeah. Like, if he starts busting it down the line, forget it.
That's probably full speed for him, though.
He's a little bit quicker than I saw him run today.
Oh, here's another one. Here's another one from the anti-booners. Ready? Why did he pinch hit or why did he pinch run Gardner? What?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Everybody,
you want to handle this one?
I was so taken back at the time. All my answer to that is right now is analytics.
It's not analytics.
I wasn't paying attention enough, but that was my thought, was like analytics to pinch run him with 2 outs.
They're down by a run with a slow runner on first base with 2 outs. You need to bring somebody in there that can score on a hit.
Yeah, but their fight was, why not put him in with no outs?
Because, and I explained this to somebody already today, when it was Voit, right?
Yeah, Voit got pinched.
You never noticed on a sidebar, you played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, right?
No.
You never played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
No.
Wow, deprived child. Did you ever play Mike Tyson?
I played Fight Night.
When Michael K says Voit, doesn't it sound like the noise that Little Mac makes when he punches?
I wouldn't know enough.
Voit, 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 Voit.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know enough.
Well,
I kind of want to play the game now, though.
Yeah. Anyway. When the runner leads, I understand. All right, here we go. When the runner leads, when Voit leads off the inning and gets on, at that point, you're hoping your offense can string together a few hits.
Right.
So you're not playing for one at bat at that point.
Right.
With 2 outs in the inning, he needs to put a faster runner in because Voigt's not scoring. He's most likely not scoring on a double in the gap.
Right.
And guess what's going to happen if Voit stays in and Bird puts one in the gap and Voigt's at third base and they don't score the run?
You're hoping when there's no outs.
He's going to get killed. This is what I'm telling you guys. It's been 6 games. You can't be on both sides of the fence. Well, if he does A, I'm going to rip him. And if he does B, I'm going to rip him.
Because at that point, with no outs, you're confident in your offense to at least have they have at least 2 chances to have even productive outs to move him over at some point. I mean,
now if it was the 9th and that happened, I'm sure they would have probably
a bunt. No one bunts.
Put Gardner
anymore.
in right away.
No one bunts
you
anymore.
might talk about analytics.
That's what I'm talking.
It's not even in the.
But that was
Tyler
my.
Wade tried bunting with 2 outs today.
But my
Who did?
Tyler Wade.
My debate
is that what happened?
Yeah, he bunted with 2 outs and
he
popped
popped
it
it
to
up.
the first baseman.
Listen, that was my argument back was analytics because at the end of the day, it does come back to that because the analytics show that there's a better chance that instead of replacing a guy like Voit at that point in an anemic offense, there's a better chance that your offense will naturally move him into scoring position. And then with 2 outs at that point, you need a runner on who can make something happen himself. Now, don't forget something either. Voigt's a big dude, but if he got onto second base, he's scoring on a questionable gapper that Greg Bird absolutely wouldn't score on. Voigt's not that slow. Voit has a little bit of speed. We saw him score from first base the other night.
But you have to make that move with 2 outs.
Yes, with 2 outs, absolutely. But analytics,
Gardner got thrown out.
Analytics is what it
yeah,
comes
and that's
down
another
to.
thing. People are killing Gardner on for getting thrown out. This team is not scoring runs. They're trying to do
manufacture
something.
right?
Yeah, that was the right move.
Look, I'm the first person to rip the Yankees for not stealing enough bases, but again, analytics, which I fucking hate. I think all this extra analytical bullshit is ruining the game. Analytics show that stealing a bag isn't always the smartest move.
Unless you can steal at an 80% clip. They don't. It's not in the analytics handbook.
Right.
Yeah.
But at that point, so now what? We're going to sit here and rip them for not being aggressive, but then they finally are, and he gets thrown out, and now it's, the coaching staff's fault.
I love the analytics, but that emotional aspect of baseball isn't in the analytics.
First of all,
that in the moment.
First of all, you want to know,
aspect.
right? That's why I say it's killing the game because I love the
All by the books. It should be by the books. I think it works.
You want to know what the funniest part about it is that you get on Twitter the "I still wish Girardi was here" crowd.
Come on,
what did he always have with him?
a binder. He said it on
Fucking
Francesa
binder.
the other day. He goes, Mike, you know me. I was Joe the Binder or whatever. He's Binder Joe. He was all about the analytics. But here's something.
Is it because Boone gets his from a guy standing in the tunnel that it bothers you when Joe Girardi openly did it right in front of you? He couldn't do anything that wasn't in that binder.
Guys, anyone listening, I promise you this. Anyone ripping Boone for making Gardy steal, you can get anyone in the Yankee organization on this show and they will all tell you the same answer. Brett Gardner does not get signs to steal. Brett Gardner steals on his own. Guys who take pitches don't get the take sign. Aaron Judge, if he takes a 3-0 pitch or a 3-1 pitch, he's doing that on his own. Boone came out and said that. When it's guys that they trust, they are not giving signs. That's why you see so many Yankees taking swings at shit pitches on 3-0 counts.
You know what?
Boone's
Boone's got to develop that sign. I don't know what he's got to do. Maybe you can just jump on the top step and be like, don't fucking swing. But 3-0, that bat should be shoved further up your ass than it should be ready
But again,
to swing.
here's where the analytics kill me, and you just said it yourself about losing that gut feeling and you losing what you see in the game. If you want to have a green light on a 3-0 count or a 3-1 count, look at the surrounding at-bats. That's what kills me with the Yankees. You'll have a guy get up there. You'll have Gary Sanchez up there with a 3-0 count after the pitcher just walked the last 2 batters on 8 pitches, and he'll swing at bullshit.
And what he do? Was it 2 games? Was it in the Baltimore game? It might have been in the last game against Baltimore, the first game against
How many times
Detroit.
are you going to say Baltimore, you think, in that sentence?
How many times are you going to get punched in the...
The Orioles.
Are you done?
Done.
It was either the last game against the Orioles or the first game against the Tigers when he was up 3-0 in the count and he's swinging. The ball's practically in the other batter's box, 3-0, and he's tapping it back to the pitcher.
Who was that, Gary?
That was Gary. Like,
Sanchez?
you got to be smarter than that.
Yes.
You know what? I know Clint Frazier struck out in that one of those last at-bats, but it was actually a good at-bat. And I'll tell you why. It was a 3-1 count, I believe. And I texted you guys and I said, if he swings at a shit pitch right now that he can't do anything with, I'm going to flip the fuck out. And he took an outside fastball. That was questionable. I would have given it to the pitcher.
I didn't like it.
I thought it was questionable, but he hit his spot. And that is a pitch on a 3-1 count that as a hitter with an approach, you are not swinging at because you're not doing anything with it.
Analytics.
And then he got beat on a really good tailing whatever that. Oh, I think it was a slider that started and broke off the outside.
You know how they do drops on radio shows?
Like a soundboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do one of me going, analytics?
No, I'll play that if I'm not going to say what I was
Trying
going to say.
yeah.
Trying to 5-knuckle shuffle?
No, thank you.
Frazier walked on 4 pitches earlier in the game.
Yeah, well, that was like a minor miracle. I thought Jesus had risen from the dead again because he actually didn't swing at something.
Yeah.
He's another one. This kid...
But again, look at what he's trying to prove in such a short time.
That's what I'm saying.
In his head, he knows he's not long for this major league club.
Well, he might be.
Maybe.
Mike Tauchman's playing fucking center field.
But in his head, all he's saying to himself is, I only might have, a handful of games to prove that I should be up here. And he's trying to do too much. These guys need to settle the fuck down.
Yeah.
They do.
Maybe getting...
But it's early. It's so early. The Yankees, even though we said there's no excuse for them to start slow, they are notoriously slow starters. Once it starts to get a little warmer, you're going to see these home run bats come alive, and they're going to start winning a lot of ball games.
That's why wouldn't you kind of rather face a team like the Astros or the Indians right out of the gate, face a good team that tests you instead of this kind of on paper?
They're playing the Astros
What would they
week.
be, 0-6 right now instead of 2-4?
Nobody's off to it. Any of the really good teams in the American League are not off to good starts right now.
You want to know why? Because it's 6 fucking games.
Do you want to know why?
Because,
analytics!
Oh, my God.
Yeah, stop doing that.
Everyone.
Oh, really? With the stupid Tommy Boy shit last week. That's okay, though.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Tommy likey.
Yeah, I shouldn't even have said anything.
Tommy want wingy.
Look, see, they're
Helen, let me tell you why I suck.
Here you go. Go down. The Astros are playing now, and they're 2-4 as we speak, playing a game. So they could be 3-4 or 2-5. There you go.
You're naughty.
Does anybody really think that the Mets are going to win the division?
I was thinking about it today. I'm someone who...
How's that $400 million treating the Angels, giving it to Mike Trout?
Oh, my God.
Really, man.
Listen, I'm someone who... I'm just indifferent towards the Mets. I like when the Mets are good because I think it does a lot for baseball in this area when both teams are good. But,
well, if the Yankees aren't on and you want to watch a baseball game,
just
it's
like
better to watch
just
a
like
team.
them on the other
Just
night.
like Yankee fans forget that this team started 9-9 last year and then exploded after they wanted to hang Boone on live television and kill the entire ball club. They went 9-9 and then they just took off. Do Mets fans forget? Actually, no. Mets fans are a little
they
bit
haven't
more
forgot that they were 11-1
attentive
last
with
year.
that because they were 11-1, right?
Yeah.
And then what?
Analytics.
And then they lost 10, 20 games in a row. So, but the Mets are a much better ball
Did they
club.
have the record for quickest turnaround from 10 games over to 10 games under
I think so,
500
yes.
in Major League history?
But the Mets are a much better ball club than they were last year. I think our boy Bro did a pretty good job over there.
He did.
But when is the injury bug going to start to hit the Mets like it is the Yankees? Because that's inevitable.
They're already dealing with some.
Oh, Frazier's out, Larry's out.
Yeah, but these other kids they got up are doing pretty well.
Alonso hit a bomb.
Cano's off to a good start.
Actually, he had a good opening day. He hasn't really hit much.
Really?
Since then.
I thought he had a couple big hits the other night.
They were talking about it on the radio today.
Who gives a shit?
He hasn't really done much since opening day.
Fuck them. They'll be 10 games under 500.
Like Seattle's 7-1. I mean, are they gonna win the West?
This is exactly what I'm talking about, folks.
Same exact thing as last year.
You can't take the first 2 weeks of baseball, and you can't take it seriously. That's not your team. Your team.
Oh, Philly lost today. That was a
that was.
You want to truly evaluate your team.
Just look at the analytics.
Oh my God!
Seriously,
Everyone,
man,
stop listening.
I'm turning off this podcast.
I'm actually going to turn my headphones off. You want to evaluate your team for the first time? Do it at Memorial Day.
That's the first mile marker,
right? That's when you really evaluate your team.
But you don't want to.
You know what?
You don't want to be
even
10
after
games
the
under.
first 30 games. If you want to look at the team, fine. But really, your team should have gelled by Memorial Day, and that's really when you can truly evaluate the team that you have, and if your team needs to go out and get guys to step it up.
Milwaukee's pretty good though.
The only team that scares me that's playing well right now are the Rays.
Yeah.
Because they can be good. And I think Kevin Cash is a good manager.
They can be good, but if the Yankees and Red Sox play to their capabilities, they're not going to hang
right,
with them.
And that's my point, is that look at the two teams that are destined to win this division. They're both sitting at the bottom. You think the fucking Blue Jays and Orioles and the Rays are better than those two teams?
Look at that Boston
Just take a
run
deep
differential.
Breath. I know, it's crazy.
Leads the league at -18.
But
the next
again,
closest -13.
how many games were they playing at Fenway over the last... Have they been home?
No, they haven't been home yet.
Where were they playing?
Seattle and Oakland.
Starting out west.
Well, Oakland's pretty cold, but
It's not Boston.
At night it gets very cold.
It's not Talkman.
It's like
Wanna go
Brian
to
Cash.
Talkman Harbor.
It's like Brian Cashman knew. He's like, we don't have Shane Robinson this year, so let's pick up Talkman.
No, it's Talkman. Like you're in Boston. It's
like
Talkman.
in fucking Boston.
Talkman.
I got a number.
Put on number 39.
How you like them apples?
That's another thing. Today, fans were like, the Yankees got to make a trade. Who the hell are you trading for after 6 games? Who would be available that a team would trade you would actually be considered an upgrade over what the Yankees have right now?
I'm listening to CMB today, who
are atrocious.
Literally the worst radio show I've ever listened to in my life.
They're so bad.
But Maggie Gray is okay once in a while.
They're all right on their own. It's when you put them together.
Maggie Gray is the only reason why they're still running. But they had a poll out today, and they're like, should the Yankees be worried and go out and shop around?
Yeah, I was like, no.
And they were like, because of how many injuries have piled up. I'm like, no, that's not why you're running the poll. And that's why the answer is no. The reason why you're running that poll is because they're 2-4. If they were 6-0 or 5-0 at the time, you're not running any poll like that. You're not even thinking about it. It's all about what they've done in the first week. So no, you don't just jump and get somebody. Give it some time. Relax.
You're not going to make a big move 6 games into the season. You're not going to do it. Unless the Yankees knew 100% that somebody irreplaceable was out for the season.
Right.
And it's not going to happen. And even if they got the worst possible news on Miguel Andujar, he's not irreplaceable in the sense that the Yankees have a replacement in LeMahieu.
Who's been very good of late.
Like, if they learn that Stan's injury was a season ender, then you have to
yes.
You probably have to go out there and get a power bat somewhere.
But, I mean, I get it, because we know just as well as anyone how...
Because Mike Talkman cannot play left field for the Yankees.
He's Shane Robinson. You can't have it.
He's a taller, left-handed Shane Robinson.
But, if anyone gets it, it's the three of us, how excited...
But you know why Talkman's here, right?
Why?
Analytics!
Oh, I hate you so much. If you if you like,
come on, after today, can we have
I
a
get my
little bit?
fucking
Can
point
we have
out,
a little bit of
please?
fun after what we've been through?
If you can't laugh, you cry, right? But the three of us know better than anyone else how excited and how great the anticipation is to start the year. So I get it that everyone's extra passionate in the first week and they're disappointed more than they would be if this was happening in the middle of the year. But it's such a long season, 162 games. These games should be won, yes, even with the injuries, but it's not the end of the world.
It's like I said last episode, you put more stock in the first 3 games because it's the first 3 games. If that series had happened in August and the Yankees were 30 games over 500, you're like, it's the same thing that happened last year. This April is last August.
But here's why I disagree with you. I get your point, but by August or July or whatever, I don't care necessarily about their record.
It is windy outside.
It's very windy. I don't care necessarily about the team's record at that point. I'm looking at what, if anyone's ahead of us or right behind us, what they're doing. Because they could be 30 games over 500, but if they're only 1 game up on the division and they lose 2 out of 3 to the Orioles, I'm still just as angry.
Yeah, I understand that, but if they're playing good baseball and they had been playing good baseball
then
all
it's not
year
like, oh,
and
this
it's
team
one
sucks.
series,
Right.
You're just like, okay, it happens.
You're not angry because the team sucks. You're angry because you didn't take advantage of a weak
and
team.
this, like I said, this April is last August, and the Yankees were terrible last August because they were just
Tired.
sunk with injuries.
Right, tired, injured.
They didn't. I'm having like flashbacks of last August. The only difference is now everybody is hurt and Aaron Judge is healthy, whereas Aaron Judge was hurt and everybody. Well, no, Didi was.
I have a question. I think you'll know this answer. Who's the doctor that Francesa always has on? He says he's the greatest with the injury stuff. He had him on during Bird's injury towards the end of last year whenever he came back or something. Someone had, I think it was Joe and Ev had him on.
Dr. Bird, paging
Stephen
Dr.
Stephen
Bird.
O'Brien. Wait, don't type Mike Francesa, type in Joe and Evan. Just type in Dr. No. Just type in Dr. MLB Doctor of Injuries for Joe and Evan.
No, that's
I want to have this guy on our show.
Manish Mehta?
No, he covers the Jets for the Daily News.
I'll figure it out. I want to get him on the show.
Okay, you do that.
I want to discuss a few things.
Is that okay? Is that okay with you, Mike?
Yeah, okay. You guys showing up? Okay. I'll get Mink.
What a doofy looking motherfucker. Seriously. Could you have picked 2 uglier guys? That's why they're on the radio.
I love him though.
Could you have picked 2 uglier guys?
No, I love Joe and Ev though. I really do. I think Evan's great. Evan, I don't know if he does if it's just seasonal, but when he does his show on his own, even on Saturday, I think it's a great show. I really do.
Like, that's why I don't tell people I watch wrestling anymore, because the guys like Evan Roberts, like, he's that's the type of person you'd expect to see at a wrestling show.
Yeah. Yeah, you're all fucking losers.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You guys want to talk about how the AAF had to fold before the end of their season?
The who?
AAF football.
What's that?
The American Alliance of Football.
Oh, is that what's his face started?
No, that's the XFL. That's next year.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't really care about football.
$250 million.
You want to know
backer.
something? I couldn't care less about football during football season. I absolutely don't even want to think about football when it's baseball season.
Okay.
All right. When do we gotta do a little spot for baseballism, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Here's a little before we'll actually kick it to the sponsor. Did you check out the hat I tweeted, that 42? I don't know if it's for Jackie Robinson or not, but as a Yankee fan, I'm gonna also say that it's for Mo
everything.
Mariano.
I'm sure it's for Jackie Robinson. Every 42 is for Jackie Robinson. The Yankees their MLB.com is selling 42 Yankee jerseys.
No disrespect to Jackie Robinson, but if you're selling a Yankee jersey number 42 and telling me that it's Jackie Robinson, I'm a little annoyed. I'm a little angry about that. Has nothing to do with Jackie Robinson.
You want to give the guy, I understand what he did. You want to, excuse me, want to give the guy a day. You honor him across Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
Fine. But this thing where, excuse me, where...
Jeez. You okay? You want water?
Well, you don't have any.
I have well water.
This thing where we have to pretend like Mariano Rivera was at number 42.
Right. That's just not okay. It's not okay.
All right. Well, you know what is okay? Hearing from our sponsors. So why don't we do that?
Let's kick it to them, and then we'll come up and guess we'll go over the schedule or something. That seems to be what we've been doing. Let's kick it to Baseballism. Guys, seriously, check out baseballism.com. They're starting to roll out this 42 series hat. You got to check it out. Couple new shirts I think they got coming out. And also use promo code NYYST. If you spend $50 on baseballism.com right now, use promo code NYYST to save 15%, and you'll get a free 42 hat if you spend over $50. Another thing I'll say before we kick it to Baseballism, I got it right at the cusp now. I'm almost fully there, working on the back end. We're going to start rolling out some awesome apparel. Any of you loyal listeners for the last 109 episodes, we're going to have some NYYST geared apparel. And also for the players. The players who throw sliders. So check out the NYYST fan shop. We'll be posting a bunch of that too. Let's kick it to the sponsors, and we'll be back after this.
Hey, have you heard about Baseballism? A premium lifestyle apparel brand focusing on the class, tradition, and history of baseball. You can find everything from accessories such as phone cases and watches to your next favorite baseball tee. Whether you're a player or just a fan of the game, Baseballism has something for everyone. They also have multiple stores, including one in Cooperstown, home of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Hop online to baseballism.com and check out all they have to offer. Just be sure to use promo code NYYST at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Baseballism, a brand built for love of the game.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors, Baseballism. Check them out on Twitter at Baseballism. Check them out on baseballism.com. NYYST will save you 15% at checkout. And I know that because I did the analytics.
I hate you so much, and I don't blame anyone who no longer wants to listen to this show.
Okay.
Yeah? But you know what? I'm happy because you're being you. And you know what? That's something I had to really stress to you.
Feel your feelings.
Someone at work looked at me. They don't listen to the show. Someone that I was working with the other day looked at me and they go, I just want to fucking rip someone's heart out like the scene in Dumb and Dumber. It was the next day after we recorded last week talking about the Dumb and Dumber thing.
You know what the biggest shock of the entire Yankee season is so far?
What?
No more Kate Smith.
Okay, let's discuss this real quick. When did I hear her? Was that...
You definitely heard her on opening day.
And
opening
it skipped
day
or something. Something went wrong with the audio. That's what I think Hoke tweeted out.
Okay, so what? That's the only audio
maybe
that they had?
She's like from the 1900s. Like,
but bro,
that was like the first recording.
Find it. I'll tell you what. There is nothing.
You miss it?
There is nothing I'm happier about this season.
Really?
Like, if anything was going to make this 2-4 start, like, okay for me, it's that I don't have to listen to Kate Smith anymore.
If they're still struggling before that homestand against Chicago, when that starts, you better fucking hear Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America. If they're still struggling, you got to bring it back.
I think I think it's time to accept Ronan Tynan's apology and
that won't happen.
open up a relationship with him again and move past it, because were they on good terms in 2009 or no?
What did he do again?
He sang "God Bless America."
No, what did he do though? Why?
He did something fucked up.
Bring it up. It was something about people that moved into the same apartment complex as him, and he made a racial slur about the ethnicity of those people.
Okay, so not that that's good, but
No.
I thought that it had something to do with like Michael Jackson type shit.
No, it was it was a racial.
And look,
he said something.
I do not condone that behavior.
But you just said
It's
bring him back.
Listen, it's 2019. If you truly have those feelings towards people, you're just a piece of shit. But people make mistakes.
If you could sing "God Bless America," come on.
I love this part when he goes,
people make mistakes.
God bless.
That's pretty good. They should just hire you.
Maybe I'll go out there and sing.
People make mistakes, right? People learn from their mistakes. You hope. Let's maybe get him back this year. I think we need his magic. You know?
Yeah, he made a bad joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bad joke.
Okay. I thought it was something like really. Not that this is good, but I thought it was something like really bad. Like
To a Jewish doctor who was seeking an apartment in his building. So was it just a tasteless joke? But like he actually liked the guy?
The real estate agent said to the tenor, "Don't worry, they're not Red Sox fans." He replied, "I don't care about that as long as they're not Jewish."
Ooh, that's tough.
And that was the line.
Does he speak English?
That got him fired.
he speaks English.
I think he just sings English.
I'm actually impressed you knew his name.
Come
like
on,
that.
Ronan Tynan,
I
man.
only
I
knew
grew
him
up on
as
the
the
guy.
Irish tenor.
I grew up on the guy.
Not that this is good, but
You thought it was a lot
I
worse.
thought it was a lot worse. Like saying something like that is not good. Like let's just put that on the table. Like you should probably
we don't
not
condone
say
that
shit
behavior,
like that.
right?
But
especially if you're
what
a guy
was in
with
my
a name.
What was in my mind that I don't know how I made that correlation with him.
Well, he does kind of look like a creep. Like he looks like he could fit the profile of what you thought he did.
Creep.
Creep, creep.
Didn't TLC have a song called Creep?
Yep. Creep. That's all I know.
Okay.
All right. Let's fucking wrap this shit up, man.
So there will be no there's actually I need to make an announcement. There will be no show Sunday. This is our last episode for a week.
For a week?
Yeah.
Why?
WrestleMania is Sunday,
Let me tell you something. If you take WrestleMania more seriously than this show, you might as well just pack it up now.
Pack it up, baby!
Instead of wasting your time at this point.
You're not even excited that the women are main eventing WrestleMania for the first time?
No. I don't. I couldn't
Ronda
care.
Rousey?
Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, and
apes-
Becky Lynch.
If apes were going to wrestle for WrestleMania, I hate wrestling.
Any relation to Ric Flair?
The daughter. It's
no
it's
way.
his daughter, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. Let's spend $400 to watch.
Who's the guy who's always like, "Oh yeah,"
to watch a television
Savage.
show that's
my
scripted.
boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna do.
Not to
yeah.
take this show. Not to. Oh,
You ever watch his
the
interviews, man? It
coffee
is
and-
so good. He gives such
coffee,
good interview.
Man. That's Ric Flair.
In here.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a great performer.
But
I'm
listen.
not going to WrestleMania
I
this year.
hate wrestling, but I will, not to take this show so off topic, but if I will give wrestling credit for one thing, they really don't leak any of this shit. They keep it pretty tight, right? Does anything leak? Because it's all scripted, we all know that. Does any of this leak?
They try not to let it leak, but there are people...
But have there been things that...
Oh, yeah, there's been plenty of stuff that's been spoiled that somebody
really?
has leaked on the internet, and then...
But is it like a bunch of people, like with the Manny Machado shit, like his friend told me? I saw Dan Clark fucking tweeted something. I almost told him to just go fuck himself.
No, it'd be like...
He shouldn't be tweeting anymore, you jerk off.
No, it'd be like...
Just kidding, if you listen to this podcast, Dan.
No, it'd be like something like Daniel Bryan scheduled to win WWE Championship at WrestleMania, and then somebody will sit in a production meeting where Vince McMahon says that. They'll go put it on the internet, and then Vince will be like, "No, I'm not."
That's what you thought.
No, I'm not doing. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
But then there's some shit that gets out, like when Brock Lesnar came back. It was supposed to be a big surprise, but everybody knew because it had leaked already.
Okay. right, so Sunday night, we're recording. Sunday in the evening.
We got to do it early, bro. Seriously, I got to watch WrestleMania.
Well, the game's on at 1.
Yeah.
So we go right after the game.
Okay.
All right. Or if the Yankees have lost the first
If
two.
they get swept, I don't even want to do a show. Seriously, I'm not even.
We'll just come on here for 10 minutes and just say fuck this, and we'll put out a show.
Can I just say one last thing now that David Cohn's face popped up? To the anti-Booners out there, that you want Boone gone, right? You want him gone. I had somebody suggest David Cohn be the new manager.
I love
today.
David Cohn, but
Okay.
he's fucking creepy looking. Yeah, you think Boone's analytics are bad?
Let me tell you something, brother. Okay?
Bruh.
Do you really think that Cashman's going to fire Aaron Boone, number one? Do you really think he's going to do that?
No, nor should he.
Number two, do you really think he's going to fire Aaron Boone and then replace him with a guy like Buck Showalter that's going to do whatever the fuck Buck Showalter wants to do?
No.
Or you think he's going to sit there, or you think he's going to hire another analytics guy?
Hey, fans.
He might just take the job himself.
Yeah, at that point, he's just going to be like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Like it.
I'm going to do both, and I'm going to win the whole thing. I'm going to do it by myself.
What do you think that conversation would be like when he's got to go pull CC after 5 2/3?
Brian, what do you think I should do? I don't know, Brian. I think you should pull him. But I don't know. The analytics.
Listen, like it or not, why would they hire Buck Showalter when their biggest thing outside of the numbers and whatever is they wanted a younger, fresher guy who gels with these younger players? You're going to bring Buck Showalter in? Let me tell you something. One of my fondest memories.
He's a big gut guy.
He is. One of my fondest memories of baseball as a kid was 1995 when the Yankees clinched a playoff berth and Buck Showalter sat in the dugout with his arms crossed and didn't show any emotion. Mm-hmm. And I went, I fucking hate this guy. As I got older and he managed the Orioles, I appreciated him a lot more. But you really want that in this clubhouse? You think Boone's bad because he doesn't show enough fire, so to say? Well, Buck Showalter doesn't show enough excitement for me.
I haven't had a chance to continue reading Inside the Empire. I'm up to like page 23 right now, but I got through the part where they go through why Joe Girardi isn't here, and somebody asked me for a Cliff Notes version of it earlier today, and it's basically because the guy's an asshole. That's why he's not here.
Yeah.
And Brian Cashman doesn't want to deal with an asshole as his manager.
Apparently, Brian Cashman's a pretty big asshole, too.
Well, two assholes.
But I just think it's that he's good at his job and he's stern, and that's just how he has to be. Whereas Joe Girardi, I hear, was a real big douche.
Well, they said in the book that Girardi would walk into the clubhouse and make a beeline for his office, not even say anything to his players, whereas Boone at least makes it a point to bump fists, shake a hand, say, "Hey, boy,"
imitate his pitchers.
Hey, man, how you doing? Girardi was he didn't want to have anything to do with that. Yes, and then hours after winning the World Series, Joe Girardi changed somebody's tire in 2009.
You guys want to rip the guy for not being
listen,
a good guy.
as a
He's a pretty damn good guy.
As a human being, I actually really like Joe Girardi. People say he never showed his true emotion, but when he was touched by something, he let it out, and I always appreciated that about him.
Touched by an angel.
And at the end of the day, he might have been a dick as a business guy and during his job, but he did have a heart, and he seemed like an empathetic person. So these stories of him helping don't surprise me. But in this world of Yankee baseball, he just didn't fit the part anymore.
They said that he had no interest in anything that his players had interest in. And, not that you have to like the same movies or listen to the same music, but he had no level of connection.
Yeah, and now you got a guy like Boone hitting the town with Andujar and Sanchez in the offseason.
He had no level of connection with his players.
Chris Davis got a fat dippy in.
I think, was it who did I say was dipping?
Herman, he did have a
did
fat
he when he was
dip in.
pitching?
Oh, he did?
Oh, he did.
I didn't
love it. You know what I love?
Look for it.
When CC pitches and then they take him out for the game.
Yeah.
You watch him pack
like
a
a
dip.
full tin.
Oh yeah, the whole thing is just in his lip.
The whole thing.
It's great. Love every second of it.
And did did Herman lose weight over the season? Because Jesus, the guy's his waist is probably what, like a 4?
He looked good. Why are you talking about his waist size?
Because he's so skinny. Like I never have. When have you ever seen a picture
Look
that
at
small?
this guy. Is his waist a 4?
4.
Listen,
I don't know, man. He looked pretty damn good.
No,
though.
he's got good
he
stuff,
was, but where do you? I mean, Jesus, the guy could be.
I guess I didn't pay attention enough to his size, but I will if I see him.
You don't
again.
think he's a small guy?
Oh yeah, looks frail.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the guy's tiny.
But
Turn sideways, and
you know
miss
who else
him.
packs fat dippies?
Who?
My boy DJ LeMahieu.
LeMahieu. That's exaggerated. He's not 175
No
pounds.
way.
No
He's like
way.
150 wet, soaking wet. All right, I'm done. I've hit my capacity.
For analytics.
I really hate you. I'm actually gonna.
Yeah, can you edit out all
I'm gonna
the times
actually-
No,
he's
you have to leave it in.
I'm gonna censor it like he's cursing every time he does it.
I'll sue you.
Do you
I
want to
will-
do?
I will fucking
You know what I would
sue
love
you.
to do one day?
What's that?
Maybe we could like tie it into like raising money or something like a telethon. I would love to do a pod one day, do it live on Twitter or YouTube for like 6 hours. Just do a 6-hour show.
Nope. Not interested.
Come on,
I'm
that would be
definitely down
fun.
for that.
Like an
That'd be
hour.
fun. We
Like,
have people call in live.
what are you gonna talk about for 6 hours?
Oh, bro, the guys on the radio do it all the time. Yeah, I know they talk about
yeah.
every sport. You tell me we can't sit here for 6 hours and talk about the Yankees?
You have to take commercial breaks.
Yeah, we'll take breaks.
All right. Okay.
PP breaks.
Let's do a 24-hour.
I would love to do that.
If we could take,
If we could raise at least 15 grand for charity,
that's
I
a
would,
good idea.
I would do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's do something
Let's
for
think about
charity.
this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyone still listening to the show, leave us. I know we said to leave us a rating and review earlier. Leave us a review if you'd be down for that. A 24-hour
I'm
friggin'
totally down.
telethon type raising money for a good cause show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be back Sunday afternoon after the Yankees game against the Orioles. God only knows how many more losses the Yankees will have. God only knows if they'll have enough players to field the team at that point. But we will be back on Sunday to discuss it. Thank you to our sponsors, Baseballism, once again. Find them on Twitter at Baseballism. Follow us on Twitter at NYY Sports Talk. Stat Guy Rye,
Go Yanks.
do it again. Seriously, this team needs some motivation.
Go Yanks.
There you go. Chris.
Let's go.
Chris. Say goodbye.
Peace.